Hey guys, how are you? So, Bitcoin. So we spoke of three possible outcomes. You were seeing the hammers coming in here. Hammers, little sell-off and a hammer here. This was your low 2. Then back up really tight. And actually you've got a volume spike here and you pop to the upside. When we were at this area and everyone was saying we were going to have a sell-off now, we're going to have a sell-off and we were resisting before previous highs. We've just gone and blown previous highs now, which we're at the 4488. In other words, what we've had here is what I call a high rising HVF that's popped. It's run first interim. It's running into a bit of steam now, a bit of stiffer resistance over here. But this was one of the scenarios we did warn about. Bitcoin is often, when you expected it to roll over, just reset up and popped again and run even on a very high rise angle setup. That doesn't mean, however, that it makes target, and typically in other markets aside from crypto, we don't take high rise setups at all because there's too much buying that's gone on along the bottom range here, along this area. There we go, all the way along there. So all throughout the pattern, instead of having a symmetrical setup, you're funneling very high and gone low vol very high, very close to the border of that new high, and then you pop. So it's taken up quite a lot of buying, but because of the cryptos being new markets and there's walls of money, people talking about 30 billion being taken out last month out of the stock markets, and more people moving into the crypto game. So it's no longer becoming so niche. We're getting traders of all varieties now wanting to be in the game. So where's the gateway? The gateway is Bitcoin, and everyone has to buy Bitcoin before they can buy anything else. And so we've had this pop. What do I think happens next? Well, there's a number of scenarios. Just like I gave you 3 last time, I said you could sell off, wind up symmetrically and have a break up later. You could have a high slung and make new highs a lot quicker than you thought. That's actually occurred now. And I said you could even fall and run this previous low and have a bit of a falling wedge before going up. We've actually had the more one that I was quietly quite wary of happen. It's worth mentioning also that the alts were setting up quite nicely across the board, and many of them had triggered. So we've had actually all-time highs. We've been doing great guns. So this is what you've been missing by not being on Basecamp with the rest of the premium guys. You've been missing ARC. Now unfortunately that's screen sizing has changed a little bit, so let me just move it. You will have missed ARC over here. It's held on to its gains pretty nicely. Apart from that little bit of a squeeze, was working higher. Very good prospects for this, and we're still looking for a run through the 78s on that setup. Scicoin has sold off and it was setting up on a little inverted, but it's going to get supported above its funnel. You're getting a second chance here to get in at Scicoin. We were getting in at this primer right down here. We've gone for a bit of a journey and a little bit of a comeback, and Bitcoin is allowing you to get in not much more expensively than we have, and we're still looking for that 240s to be run. So that's not a bad move from 177. So it's sold off quite firmly. Other ones that we're watching that we like, this is Steamer. Also sold off. We were waiting for it. This is Steam on Polynex. A rising wedge. It was expected last night. I could see that we were probably going to take a little bit of a dip on our favorite coins, despite breaking down here. So you can get in quite close to what the insiders got in at over here. You don't always get that opportunity with Steam. And the other ones that have done really nicely, CFI, also giving you an opportunity to get in. Made second interim. Had a lot of altcoins that had made interims. They were setting up with grind lines, needed a sell-off. And that's your Bitcoin strength. In she comes, you get your sell-offs. You can get in on these a little bit lower down, and later than us. We were in over there. We were actually in over here on a little bit of a squeeze as well, down here with this little primer, but still not a bad entry over here, and it churned for a long time. So chances to get back in there, and then next thing you know, you could be at 9.6 from buying in at 5.9. It's better than a kick in the backside. Digibyte we really like. Lovely little primer, back to funnel. You can get in at funnel level. You're not missing out now. I'm giving you some awesome leads here in the coins that we were watching and what you could be trading. So that's a little bit about that. And of course, we've been down on BCC, and it's just fallen with Bitcoin getting strong. and it's been heavy in this wedge, a lot in the lower part of the wedge. We had inverted HVF structure out of there that had us out long ago. Still a wall of people still trying to get out. They're trying to get out at 12.6 when this tapped out virtually at 25s. It's late. You guys are late. And what actually happens is you get this exhaustive sell-off, and this can actually pop to the upside. So the people finally get out at the worst possible moment now, and that's often how it is. You get a little dip out the bottom, and then you can pop on the falling wedge upside when the alts and all the other coins get a little bit of life back into them. So anyway, so BTC, it's going to have a little rest, I think. I don't think this is going to be straightforward all the way ripper up there. It's going to have a little rest, and it might even fizzle and break through this and give you marginally higher highs, which could be very strong for the alts. If I'm having to best against the one BTC steep angled high rise HVF, I think it can make its target, but I think there will be pullbacks along the way that'll allow those alts to get away, the top alts that we've identified. Ahead of that, the BTC, and there's also a chance the BTC fizzles and pulls through this funnel and invalidates as well. If it just rips straight up, it's probably going to mean pressure on those alts. And some selling, and then all those separate wind-up patterns that have formed. Often, many of them first setups in a new trend where you can get a major move. You'll find them kicking. So if you want to be in our WhatsApp group, getting all the hot notifications, I do voice outs, and we do a couple of chart shares, and then of course the Basecamp group where we discuss it all. You need to get in touch on contact us on themarketsniper.com. You go to themarketsniper.com and go to contact us and book in for a chat to see if it's profile that suits you and our methodology. Other than that, trade safe, enjoy watching, and don't panic with the rest of the move. Don't, when everyone goes into Bitcoin, suddenly panic and sell out of all your alts into Bitcoin, because you'll only be buying them back higher up. Stop reacting, start having a process, and sticking to your trades. And in all our cases, none of our stops have been run. In many cases, lots of support at the funnel. It's just top up time. So we always keep Bitcoin, so we can just get with that Bitcoin even more of the likes of Digibyte, ARC, etc., CFI, etc. on the pullbacks. So that's the game for us, and we expect to be at all-time highs again soon. Let's hope. Let's see. If Bitcoin keeps running and gets really strong and shows its outlier strength, then we will head for the hills and eventually adjust. But we'll wait for our key levels to have been taken before that happens.